Have you ever wondered where your retirement money actually goes when you invest it? I mean, really wondered? Because what I'm about to share with you will completely change how you think about investing forever. Hey, I'm Andrew Meet Rich. I used to be that guy who threw money into random investment accounts without asking questions. I was broke, stressed, and honestly, I had no clue that my $20 a month was feeding into a machine so powerful it could make governments nervous. I made every money mistake you can think of, but I figured it out, and now I want to help you do the same. Today we're talking about BlackRock, a company you've probably never heard of, but one that likely controls a piece of your financial future right now. We're going to break down how your simple investment choices connect to a global system that's bigger than most countries' entire economies. And here's the thing, understanding this isn't just interesting, it's essential for making smarter money decisions. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dive in. Even if today's topic doesn't feel super relevant, the next one could change your life. Let me tell you about Larry Fink. Back in 1986, this guy was working at First Boston Bank, feeling pretty good about himself. He was the investment genius, the bond market whisperer. Then one day, he made a forecast about interest rates, $100 million forecast, and he got it completely wrong. Picture this. You're sitting in a boardroom and you just lost your company $100 million. Your colleagues are staring at you. Your boss is probably thinking about your replacement. That sick feeling in your stomach when you realize you've messed up big time. That's what Larry felt, but multiplied by a number most of us can't even imagine. But here's what's fascinating. Instead of hiding under a rock, Larry had a realization. He told himself, the fear of losing money is the main driver of the entire financial world. That failure taught him something most people never learn. Crisis equals opportunity. 2 years later, he started BlackRock with 8 people in a tiny office. And here's where most people get stuck. They think one bad decision defines them forever. But Larry understood something about money psychology that changed everything. Here's what blew my mind when I first learned about this. BlackRock doesn't make phones, cars, or food. They don't produce anything you can hold in your hands, yet they control more money than most countries have in their entire treasury. We're talking about $10 trillion. That's trillion with a T. But here's the reframe that changed how I think about investing. When you buy an ETF for your retirement, you're not just buying a simple investment product. You're actually handing over a tiny piece of control to a company that then uses millions of those tiny pieces to influence major corporations. Think about it this way. Imagine you and 99 of your neighbors all chip in $5 to buy pizza for everyone. Sounds harmless, right? But what if the person collecting that money gets to decide not just what pizza to order, but also gets a say in how the pizza place runs their business? That's essentially what happens when you invest in ETFs. The action step here is simple but powerful. Before you invest in any fund, ask yourself, who actually controls this money once I hand it over? Most people never ask this question, and that's exactly why they stay stuck in the financial passenger seat. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and a little scary if I'm being honest. BlackRock created something called the Aladdin system. No, not the Disney character. This is artificial intelligence that analyzes millions of data points and predicts financial crashes before they happen. Remember that ostrich effect we talked about in previous videos? How we stick our heads in the sand when money gets complicated? Well, while we're doing that, algorithms are making decisions about our financial future. In 2023, 30% of the world's money flowed through this one system. 30%. Here's the psychological trap most people fall into. They think, well, if smart computers are handling my money, I don't need to understand anything. Wrong. Dead wrong. Understanding how the system works is exactly what separates people who build wealth from people who just hope for the best. The reframe that changed my perspective? Your money isn't just sitting there growing peacefully, it's actively being used as voting power in boardrooms of companies you've never heard of. Every dollar you invest is a tiny vote in the global economy. So here's what you need to do. Start treating your investments like the powerful tools they are. Don't just buy and forget. Understand where your money goes and what it's doing while it's there. Let me share something that made me completely rethink everything. In 2021, BlackRock forced ExxonMobil, one of the biggest oil companies in the world, to change their entire management team because of climate concerns. ExxonMobil didn't want to do it, but BlackRock owned 6% of their shares, and that 6% was enough to make it happen. Now, you might be thinking that's great, Andrew, good for the environment. But here's the thing that should make you pause. If they can force changes at ExxonMobil, what other changes are they making that you don't hear about? And more importantly, are those changes aligned with your values and financial goals? This is where decision fatigue kicks in for most people. They hear about these complex systems and just throw their hands up. It's too complicated. I'll just put my money somewhere and hope it works out. But that's exactly the mindset that keeps you financially powerless. Here's the insight that changed everything for me. You don't need to understand every detail of global finance, but you absolutely need to understand the basic principle that your money is never neutral. It's always working towards someone's agenda. The question is, whose agenda is it? The action step is to spend 50 minutes this week researching what companies are in your retirement fund or ETFs, not to become a financial expert overnight, but to start connecting the dots between your money and your values. Look, I'm not telling you to pull all your money out of the market and stuff it under your mattress. That would be financial suicide. What I'm saying is that understanding these systems gives you power. The power to make informed choices, the power to align your investments with your values, the power to stop being a passive passenger in your own financial journey. The biggest companies in the world are playing chess with money, and most people don't even realize their pieces on the board. But once you understand the game, you can start making moves that actually benefit you. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start paying attention to where your money goes. Start today. Start with one fund, one investment, one question. Small shifts in awareness lead to massive changes in your financial future. And speaking of massive changes, next week I'm going to show you 3 simple questions that can protect your retirement from manipulation you never saw coming. Trust me, after what we covered today, you're going to want to know these questions. See you then.